Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Scott Sports 101 Thursday Night Football postgame show. Although it's a couple of days late, the Atlanta Falcons got their second win of the season Thursday night. They beat the Carolina Panthers 25-17 at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. The Falcons bounced back from last Sunday's loss to the Detroit Lions with a strong performance against the Carolina Panthers Thursday night. The Falcons had a very strong defensive performance to avoid a season sweep. Todd Gurley grinded out 46 yards rushing and a touchdown. Julio Jones added 137 yards receiving against a banged-up Panthers secondary, and the Falcons defense limited the Panthers to 2 of 10 on third down conversions, to improve to 2-1 since Morris replaced Dan Quinn as head coach. Panthers head coach Matt Rhule said it felt like Bridgewater was constantly underdressed for this game on Thursday night. We had a hard time blocking their front, Rhule said. Weren't able to get our receivers involved. We were 2 of 10 on third downs, and we can't live like that, and that is the truth right there. Falcons defensive tackle Charles Harris was ejected for a hit on Teddy Bridgewater, who was knocked out of the game and suffered a neck injury. And I don't know if he's going to be, if Harris is going to be suspended for that or not be allowed to play, but I don't know. But I know Bridgewater probably will be out for Carolina's next game. That'll be in week, after this week, it'll be in week 9. And, but this was a game where the Panthers just did not look good, and Atlanta took advantage of every mistake the Panthers made. The Falcons kicked the field goal. It was 3-0 Falcons in the first quarter. And that was a 72-yard at the Carolina. That was a 20-yard field goal at the Carolina 20-yard line, and they weren't able to get in a touchdown, so they had to settle for that field goal. Then the Panthers scored their first touchdown of the game. And it was a 12-yard touchdown by Christian Samuel, and the extra point was good. It was 7-3 Panthers, and then the Falcons couldn't score a touchdown again. They had to settle for a field goal, and there was a 37-yard field goal at the Carolina 37, and it was good, and it was 7-6. So the Panthers led by 1, and that was at the end of the first quarter. And in the second quarter, the Panthers scored their second touchdown of the game. Bridgewater passed deep to Christian Samuel for the 29-yard touchdown, and it was 14-6 Carolina. And then that extra point was good. And then the Falcons scored their first touchdown of the game. Matt Ryan scrambled for a 13-yard touchdown, and then the extra point was good, and it was 14-13. Carolina led by 1 again. And then the Falcons kicked a field goal. They couldn't get into touchdown territory. They couldn't get in the end zone for a touchdown, so they set up for a field goal at the Carolina 36. It was 16-14 Atlanta at halftime. In the third, the Carolina kicked the field goal because they at the 39 of Atlanta, and they just were not able to get in to score, and it was 19-17. It was 1970 Atlanta. Atlanta led by 5, and then it was by 2. And then Teddy Bridgewater got intercepted in the fourth quarter, was picked off, And Atlanta scored, and Todd Gurley left guard for the 3-yard touchdown, and it was 25-17, and that was basically it. The Falcons get the win, and they go to 2-6. The Panthers fall to 3-5. So this was not one of those, not a good night for the Carolina Panthers. And it's time now to give out the game balls. Matt Ryan, 21 of 30 carries and attempts, 281 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Julio Jones, 7 receptions, 137 yards, no touchdown, no interceptions. And Todd Gurley, 18 of carries and attempts, 46 yards rushing, and 1 touchdown, no interceptions. So this was basically one of those games where the Panthers just made too many mistakes. So, and they will have to regroup for when they play the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday, November 8th in Week 9. So, as for the Panthers, they will try to extend their win streak to 2 as they will play the Broncos in Atlanta on Week 9. So, but we do have some, we've got some great NFL action coming up. Actually, tomorrow, as a matter of fact, so I'll go over it right now very quickly. The Minnesota Vikings will take on the Green Bay Packers at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The Tennessee Titans will travel to Cincinnati to Paul Brown Stadium to take on the Bengals. The New York Jets will travel to Arrowhead Stadium to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. And the Indianapolis Colts will take on the Detroit Lions at Ford Field in Detroit. The Pittsburgh Steelers will travel to Baltimore to take on the Ravens at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. The LA Rams will travel to Miami to take on the Dolphins at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The Saints will travel to Soldier Field to take on the Bears. The New England Patriots will travel to Ralph Wilson Stadium in Buffalo to take on the Buffalo Bills. The Raiders will take on the Browns at First Energy Stadium. The LA Chargers will travel to Denver at Sports Authority Field to take on the Denver Broncos. The 49ers will travel to Seattle to take on the Seattle Seahawks at CenturyLink Field. And Sunday Night Football, the Dallas Cowboys will take on the Philadelphia Eagles at Lincoln Financial Field and in Philadelphia. And on Monday Night Football, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will travel to MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey to take on the New York Giants. So that's basically the NFL action for Week 8. But Atlanta gets the win, and my brother-in-law and I, we both took Atlanta for that game, and we have both lost on that one, so we're both 0-1. But we'll see how this pans out. I'm hoping to have another awesome week on my picks this week, so we shall see. Nevertheless, though, the Atlanta Falcons get their second win of the season as they beat the Carolina Panthers 25-17 at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up for the Scott Sports 101 Thursday Night Football post-game show, and I'll be back with Scott Sports 101 Browns and Early Games pregame show before tomorrow's Browns game, and I'll have the post-game show after that, and then the late games pregame show, and the late game postgame show, Sunday Night Football pregame show, and then the Sunday Night Football postgame show, and then Monday Night Football pregame and the Monday Night Football postgame show. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day, and every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1, I'm done.